Hey folks, I'm Captain Jimbo Keith.
And I'm Captain Jim Keith.
Welcome to another episode of Keith Boys Outdoors. So we're going to go over a fishing report real quick for the Cedar Key area. And Captain Jim fished two tournaments over on, one on Rodman and one on St. John's this week. So he'll give you a little fishing report on that and how he did. The Power Pole Series Redfish Tournament was out of Steinhatchee on Saturday. Looked like the fish bit really good. I think they had 80-something boats, 90 boats show up for that. So weather was horrible on Saturday. Some of the worst conditions a lot of them guys said they've ever tournament fished in. But the fish bit. They bit on the working side of things too, as far as a couple guys caught some fish, which was kind of stupid for them to be out there. Not very smart to do with their customers, but some guys don't care too much about that. Anyway, on another note, the fish in Cedar Key are starting to fire up. The trout bite, speckled trout and sand trout are both biting fair. I had a couple days I struggled with towards the end of the week when the water got real stirred up. But at the beginning of the week, the water was clean. I caught plenty of fish, caught a limit 3 days in a row on speckled trout, and then caught a limit of redfish on Thursday, and had one good keeper on Friday, but I didn't redfish long on Friday. Mainly trout fish.
You told me you're catching them on mullet.
Yeah, cut mullet on the redfish, and that's on the islands. I'm back in the bay boat, so they've shown up real quick out there, and I've heard of a few other people catching some out there. So we had a 30-incher and a couple lot redfish that were giants. A couple right at 25, 27 inches that were heavy.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, real good sign. Real good sign. Captain Stephen caught 4 mackerel on Monday. So mackerel showing up already. The water temp was like 72 last week when I was finishing up.
I got a couple in there too.
Yeah, that's awesome. You caught some mackerel too? Dang, I ain't caught any mackerel yet. So a lot of people ask about the mackerel. Well, they're showing up, starting to show up. So I bet there's some out at the reef.
Yeah, they probably are.
Yeah, I saw a couple guys. I saw Jim Du Bois heading that way, so I figured they. But it was pretty rough on Friday. He was going anyway, but anyway, I think things are fixing to turn for the better. If we can get some calm weather and let the water clean up, I think things will really happen good. I think it's going to be an awesome spring. Yeah, we did have a good cold winter, so I look forward to have an awesome spring. I think
spring has sprung already.
Yeah, it's sprung.
All this pollen is.
Yeah, the pollen's moving.
Washed the car yesterday and then parked it in the garage and
covered it again.
Yeah, covered it up again.
My orange trees are blossoming like crazy. They're smelling good. Yeah, so it's definitely sprung. But
I caught some trout, just like Jimbo said, trout on the flats there. Caught sand trout and speckled trout, cranking up.
Sand trout full of roe. The ones I clean, they're full of roe. So speckled trout aren't yet, but those are. A few big ones showing up. We've had a couple over 19-inchers that we've turned loose and on the days.
Yep, the glow color worked best for me again.
Same for me. Glow's been
the water's a little dark right there. It hadn't really got real clear, but when it's green and brownish green, that glow works real good.
Glow works good. It seemed to be holding pretty solid for us as well. So and then catching a few on live shrimp, not very many. Captain Chad caught some on live shrimp, but mainly been targeting with the artificials. And then there's also some big black drum showing up. So a couple big schools of them, we've caught them. They're out there spawning, so we've caught them on artificial. Just crazy. Some big 30-inchers, giant black drum. They pull you around a little bit. So a lot of people asking about those. But anyway, it's been a good week fishing. I look forward to this week being pretty good. They're calling for 10 to 15 tomorrow in Cedar Key out of the northeast. So I got doubles tomorrow, so I'll have a long day on the water. And then kind of back to normal half-day deals the rest of the week.
Yep, I'll be out there with you, Jimbo. We're booked all week.
Yeah, all week.
On this month, booked up.
So a lot of people call them wanting to go this week, and I hate it, but we're already booked up. Spring, a lot of people on spring break.
3 or 4 dates in April left. That's it.
Yeah,
it's already March and April gone. Freshwater bite is. I heard a report. Talked to Shannon Adams. He went out there with his brother and had 29, I think, for just a little while. And they were up in the trees
catching.
Yeah, on specks, freshwater catching specks, and that was over in Noonan's Lake, but they're up in the trees.
That's always
calling
good.
them that shallow, and you know what they're doing? They're spawning up in there. Let's see, the bite over there at Rodman was okay. We caught some fish. We placed third in the Jacksonville Senior Club tournament. Had 45 boats, I think, out there on Thursday, and we got third place.
Yeah.
We caught them on the wacky worm and the black blue bass assassin worm, big 11-inch black blue.
And that big worm.
Yeah, big one. They like that. They like that big worm.
Mm-hmm.
And then fish yesterday. All that wind over there, Plaque. I had 140 boats in that tournament.
Jeez.
Boats. Yeah, but we only had managed 11.9 pounds. It wasn't enough, so we packed up and loaded up the boat after we weighed in and come on home. We know 11.9 wasn't going to cut it over there. But I did heard if you had like 15 pounds, they got a check. I got a check with 15 pounds, which they had high winds, but I didn't know. I don't know what won it. Ended up winning it. I imagine up in the 20-pound mark. Yeah. Should have won it. So
nice.
I talked to Matt Ridman, my buddy Matt, and they had about 18 pounds something, and he said he lost a big one. He said he should have had 25 pounds, but but they lost a couple of fish, good ones.
He'll be up there at the top. I mean, top 5 probably.
Yeah.
With that.
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, the freshwater they're going on to what we called a lot of male fish. We fished the canals and we were catching some males. That's what I ended up catching. I had one 4-pounder that I caught.
Yeah.
And they were bipads, and they were that was a female.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have any big fish move in there where we were at.
It won't be long though.
Yeah. But the males are in there.
Yeah. If the males are in there, females
water
will be
was
coming
stirred
behind
up.
them. Yeah.
All in the town, you couldn't see real good.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The big one I saw that I caught, I threw over there by some lily pads right on the bank, and I saw that lily pad jump when that after I twitched that worm with that up. And I saw that line jump and she was moving out, and I hooked her. So she was right there on that bank. I knew she was
getting ready to spawn for sure. She wasn't already on the bed.
Yep.
So if you notice right here on the table, we got some tungsten weights right here. And if you're a bass fisherman, you know about a tungsten weight because we use them the 3/4 ounce to 1.5 ounces, sometimes even a 2 ounce, to what we used to call flipping, now they call punching. It's for getting in heavy cover. The tungsten is a heavyweight, small package. So if you had a lead weight that was an 1.5 ounces like this one, or a 1 ounce, it would be way bigger. And they sound a little different too when they're bumping stuff. But what Captain Jim did is he figured out a way to take the tungsten that's this color, which is a silver, which sometimes they like that silver, instead of buying it black, or if it beats the paint off of it when you buy it, to make it back black again. I'm going to let him tell you about it. It's a cool little trick. It's real simple, don't cost you anything. And you can take your tungsten weights, whether they be the big flipping weights or the small tungsten weights that we throw.
It doesn't matter.
With any worm, it don't matter.
Tungsten.
Any size tungsten, you can change it. You can make it a dark black or a dark gray.
Yeah. I didn't invent this. I saw it another guy share, and I just like to share it with you because it's a pretty neat deal. I don't know who figured out, probably somebody at the company that with tungsten that deals with them. But most of the time, you get the black heavy and you use them quite a bit, the paint starts chipping off. And what I learned is that if you will take your tungsten weight, and I already did these except this one. This is what it looks like, you know. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're just silver or black. But after a while, it'll chip off. Or if you just want to buy the silver, you can do this neat trick with them. But what I do is take these and I'll hold it with a pair of chan locks, and I'll have them. I would do it with chan locks and you hold it like that. Then you have a torch like this, and you heat that thing up where it's red hot. You have to sit there and hold it for a little bit and get it red hot. So use chan locks a little bit longer. But what you have is a bowl of, get a bowl of water in it, put some ice in it, ice water, and let it sit there. And after you heat this up and it gets red hot, drop it in that bowl of ice water, and then in just a few minutes you can pick it up, and it turns this thing solid black, turns this tungsten black, and that's what these are. I did these. You can tell what it is. And they'll be black for a long time. You don't have to worry about them chipping paint when you put them in your box and carry them around.
That's your tip for this week.
Tungsten hack there.
Yeah, as we're getting into spawning season and all, a lot of guys using the small tungsten
you can
stuff.
Use the little weights too.
You can do the little ones too.
All the tungsten if they chip, don't if you just like them black.
Yeah.
But they do hit them silver lots of times without them. But a lot of people like them black.
Yeah.
I like mine black when they match. Black. I do a lot of black.
Yeah, a lot of black blue.
And crawls.
Yeah, crawls.
Yeah. That's a little hack.
Cool deal.
I like.
Cool deal. Well, snook season is open right now as well. It opened up March 1st, and it will go through March and April. So we hadn't had any show up in Cedar Key yet around the islands. There's been one or two caught up towards Swanee, but nothing out there around the islands yet. I've had a few people asking. It won't be long. Somebody's going to end up catching some or finding a little school of them. They'll be poking back out there. The water temps, right there at the bumping 70s, and that's, it gets about 72 stable and higher. They'll hang out. They'll come in there and stay. But anyway, I look for it to be a really good bite this next week and continue on. But anyway, if you can get on the water, get on the water.
I just thought about something. Don't do this with lead.
Yeah, lead. Yeah, don't do that with lead.
Only just tungsten. It's got to be tungsten.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's
yeah, for
just
sure.
That metal, not lead.
Yeah.
It melts everything.
You'll have a mess for sure.
Lead will melt.
Yeah.
Tungsten.
Anyway, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with us for another episode. And I want to just thank you. Please subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you anything. Follow us on social media. We had a couple cool pictures from this week that our producer Addie will be posting on this video as well, showing off. So wait till the end and you'll catch them coming through there, or she might flash them up there on there at some time. There's a couple good redfish, a couple big trout we'll throw on there. Maybe even have a bass picture on there, maybe if Captain Jim took some pictures. But anyway,
yeah, I've got pictures.
All right, good deal.
I didn't want to remind you too. I write for the Woods and Water magazine.
Yeah.
Each monthly report on the Woods and Water magazine, and look for they have the areas in the back of the book, the fishing reports, and I do the Cedar Key area fishing report. So check those out. I also post pictures of clients.
Yeah, you might see if you fished with him, you might see your picture in the Woods and Water. You get in the magazine there. It's a monthly issue. So anyway, thank y'all again, and y'all have a good rest of the week.